I'm gonna ask you, 1090. Is there a certain document that's in your possession that you could have responded with, but you haven't yet?
Absolutely.
$10.90. Are you on the line?
Yeah, what's up?
Yo, let me just ask you in plain words, because Wack just gave me the longest Johnny Cochran message.
No, I'm telling you what
is a guy a rat or not? I look to y'all I look to the Hunter side and the exposers and 1090. Who got the work? Is he a rat or not?
So at this point, he can't stand on it based on a court document because he doesn't have that. I know what this crazy got. He could respond, and I'm telling you, the fact that he has not responded in the way that I know he could, based on something to kind of talk or discredit something, I think he's waiting on that to just take a fork in the whole situation. I hope it comes back in favor of Larry. But right now, I know what he's doing. I know if he knows me like I know him.
Hey, 1090, since we have you on here officially, because I'm going to be honest with you, and I've seen a lot of people send me this, and they says your reputation, I think you went through this before, where your reputation becomes in limbo because people are wondering if you're either jumping the gun or you're lying, right?
Nah, I wouldn't say his reputation. His reputation.
My reputation can't be in limbo because people have favoritism.
There we go. Right? Talk about it.
So the thing is, they're talking about
now. Slow down.
My reputation isn't on the line in this situation, right? So, Wack, where did this start from? Who was the one that originally posted this? Because people
it was an app called Squid 8 from Chicago.
Right. So Act. Yeah. This hit came from Chicago itself.
It didn't
Somebody from Chicago.
So you didn't conjure this up?
No, not at all.
Man, somebody from Chicago did this, and somebody from LA sent it to me and said, "Hey, is real?" So what I did was I looked into it. I found articles saying the same as whoever from Chicago posted it, right? That was a Chicago blog that posted that. So that came from the city of Chicago. The reason they not putting a face on it is because they know what comes with it. That's the same reason James Highsmith isn't going to speak against Larry Hoover. He still lives in Chicago.
Really?
Now, when I read the content I ran, the interview I ran, it was a great piece to protect Mr. Hoover. But
was it factual though, Wack? I know you would have run no fake content. The guy who said Larry Hoover never told on me.
Here's the thing. I am not this individual. These men are in their 70s. All I can do is go over that newspaper clipping and ask him, was it factual? What does he account what happened that day? Which is up on my page, right? So I let him answer. But what I'm telling you is, one thing about it, like when you got two at the chessboard, we kind of know what each other's up to based upon our movement and based upon the moves he hasn't made. Then that lets me know what 1090's up to.
So, right. Wack, I'm gonna ask you again: if 1090 come with the work, and it shows that Larry Hoover may have done such, will you stand on the Hunter side and say, hey, despite me having a conversation with the man who claimed, Larry Hoover never told on him, the work says otherwise, and Larry Hoover is a rat. Will you say
1090 can answer that? I'm always going to go off to work. You know that.
Hey, Wack, let me ask you, right? Because you just said you're always going to go off to work, right?
Yeah, I'm going to go off to work.
If you live in California State Prison, so if word comes out that somebody snitched, right? And you go and ask the person that did the shooting, is what he says gonna matter, Here's the paperwork.
No, the paperwork is gonna call the last
Because
shot.
the shooter can get paid off to say anything, right?
Well, people can get paid off. People could get intimidated. People could be persuaded.
Right. Now let me ask
hold
you
on. Now
another
watch
question.
this act. Watch this act. You got to remember. Act. You got to remember, and the world has to remember.
Yeah.
Act, you gotta know, because if it was a me and your thing, and we was speaking the same way, we know we're gonna whatever you find, I can find, right? So I'm telling you, based upon me knowing 1090 and how he moves, and knowing what I got, I'm assuming, right? And actually, I'm not gonna assume. I know he has a certain document and he just hasn't used it. So when I ask myself, well, why hasn't he fired the shot? I'm saying he's waiting to get back those 1968 documents. So I'm going to ask you, 1090, is there a certain document that's in your possession that you could have responded with, but you haven't yet?
Absolutely.
There you go, Ack. I'm telling you, like, nigga, we chess players. I know.
But since we chess players, right? Let me ask you a question, right?
What's up?
You Pyru. If you hear one of the big homies in Pyru got some on his name, are you gonna wait for me to go get it, or are you gonna go get it?
Oh no, I'm definitely gonna go get it.
So why the GDs ain't going to the Chicago courthouse to prove that Larry Hoover ain't got no paperwork?
If you want me to answer that question truthfully,
I want you to answer that question honestly.
For the same reason that I haven't.
They don't want it to. You feel me?
Well, I'm gonna be real. Like, in this world, and I'm gonna keep it real and act. I think you would understand it. In this world, when it comes to some people and some things, there's gonna be selective politic in there, right? To where if it was these other people, you would do it. If it's Big Meech, you would do it, as if Ack is saying. But now that it's Larry Hoover, you're not doing it. And it's not necessarily, some situations could be out of fear, which is what 1090 is suggesting with James Highsmith. Maybe he changed his story out of fear. And I'm gonna be real. I'm just saying, if 1090 pulls that paperwork from 1968 and it's not in favor of Larry Hoover, that other piece that I know he probably has, it's gonna blow the doors off of everything. It's game over at that point. I know if I got it, he has to have it.
Hold on, Wack.
I know if my I'm just being
will you
real.
talk about him like how I've heard you discuss Big Meech, that he's a rat bastard if the paperwork says that, or will you give him the grace? Because here's the thing, I think that, and I think some people, and 1090J could even jump in, some people are saying, bro, he's in his 70s or 60s, whatever. I don't know how old he is.
That doesn't matter. That don't matter.
Some people have been saying that to say, come on, man.
Bro,
come on.
I'm kicking 50 in the ass. I got kids like he got kids. I got a reputation like he got a reputation. 1090 gonna feel the same way. Nobody really that got a set of cojones is gonna give a f about that. They gonna read what's on the work.
Oh wow.
Well, at the same time, it's like there's a level of importance like this, because I don't even think you can tally up how many GDs have died behind this, right? And what I said in my video was, this would be considered breaking the code by any standard, but what about the person that wrote the code?
Now I heard
so people were saying, oh, this was the 60s. That didn't matter back then. What you mean? Almost every gang is based off of the mafia. The mafia was the 20s, 30s, 40s.
Hey, by the way, real quick. Wait. 1090.
A hypocritical shot. How many people was eliminated based on the order of the words of that man? See, that's what I'm saying.
So it's like you got all these dudes, right? Because this man was 23 and went to prison in 1973. So the majority of the people DMing me, atting me, doing that shit that's mad as fuck ain't never even met this man. They weren't even alive by the time he went to prison.
Hey, I want to ask 1090.
So my thing is this: what happens when you find out that the person you've believed in and everything, and have crashed out behind, caught bodies behind, represented to the fullest, and you kept it so gangster, you got 7 damn life sentences yourself.
All right, see, this is where 1090 shows his busting. The Kai side. What you just insinuated is the same reason Rick Ross, who is in the culture, had to pay that $3 million to the GD for saying whipping like Big Meech, Larry Hoover. Hoover, for all these decades, have been promoting growth and development for GD regardless of what's going on out in the streets. And that man ain't out of jail yet. So for you to insinuate that like it's a known fact, it's out of pocket. Let's get back to the content.
What happens when you find out if he told on somebody?
Do you ever say, you know what? If I tell them this, they're not even going to believe it. They're going to get more mad at me for bringing it to light. Let me not say it.
I mean, I'm already the most hated, so it's like I
no, you're not. No, you're not. Get your.
I mean, Wack, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. You got yours, but I'm white though, so I'm gonna get a different level.
You white? That's the list.
It's easier for them to say something about me than you. They're gonna say,
but you know why though? People. Let me tell you why I think I am, because I've been poking the bear longer than you about all kind of shit. So I ain't gonna lie, they hate your motherfucker. You could be my hated, not identical twin brother, but fraternal twin brother. You know what I'm saying? But in this situation, you see what I sent you?
Yeah.
That's me asking that site, where did you get this from? And they admitted where they got it from. Because these people think I gave it to the site. They think I gave it to the site, and then I paid 1090 to respond. These people got a crazy ass imagination, bro. It's nuts.
There's always some conspiracy theories behind. So that's how it happens, and it's easier for people to be mad at me and you than to go ahead and figure out for themselves.
And what's crazy is,
man, I seen a video earlier today. Some GD from Arkansas talking about me saying this, that, and the third, saying I'm dumb, and then he couldn't even read the paperwork. This man up his words, so it's like, how am I dumb? You can't even read it. Never mind, go get it.
And so it's like real act. If I didn't do what I did, it ain't no other voice out there unless it's a dude like you, big enough to fight this man in this type of lane. So, but I gotta tread lightly, because I can't really go. Only thing I can go at him with is what he's using. But I know there's other pieces out there that he might obtain.
I saw people trying to laugh at 1090, be like, yo, we finally got this nigga. He exposed. He really bit off more than he could chew.
That's because of the content I read, but I'm telling you.
But it looked like he might have the work. It looked like.
Listen, before he came on here, I said, because of the content I read, because of the interviewing that dude, and what he said that kind of debunked what 1090's what his was, right? And the fact that he didn't respond immediately with what I know he probably has, lets me know he's just being patient. He's being patient, and he's waiting to get back. What that is, either way, he has a response. As you see, the one could be a little shallow, or one could just be an explosion where can't nobody say nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta respond to his response that he can use today. He know how I'm gonna come back. He knows it like I would know how he would come back. But then he also knows that when I'm getting threats and I'm actually fighting in favor of Larry Hoover, so I know 1090 be crazy.
Damn.
They're telling me stop talking about it because my voice is so loud, it's making people pay attention. No, Squid 8, the Chicago-based media platform, is what made people pay attention, because that's how I did. I'm gonna say that the things 1090 Jake reported on, right, are credible documents from the court for him to stand on that, and he's not gonna fight me on that. He's
right, but this is the thing. What I found comes from a time where the only news, blogs, articles was literally the newspaper.
And they had to get it from the police report,
It's not a matter of is it a credible source. It is the only source.
No, not the only source, because the other source is the court.
Right. But this opens the doors to where, okay, the next move is going to the court.
Yeah, it opens the door to conversation and debate.
And that's all we've had so far is conversation, because what I said in my video is by all street codes, if this is true,
now 1090
that makes
gonna
him
believe.
There's not a rapper today that if he told the two people that shot him, he wouldn't be labeled a rat. But the thing is this, Chicago, you have to go to the courthouse in person to request documents. So you're telling me the thousands of GDs in Chicago that literally pray and say this man's name before they go to sleep, none of them want to go to the courthouse and go get this?
Well, you would think that they would want to go there to get it to clear him. 1090 knows what I'm doing, but this is why I know what he's doing based upon what I probably had. Like there's a thing out there that I know he has the commission report. I know he probably has. He could take and put with another thing and that, and he could have responded.
Wack,
to me.
You sound different today. It sounds like you almost agree with 1090 that he's a rat.
No, I'm not. What I'm saying is 1090 did not make it up. No, he did not. 1090 is not the origin of it. No, he's not. But the documents he's using, right, it's not a credible enough document. It's not a legal entity. It's not the court document.
I can agree to an extent, right?
Yeah,
but
that's all I'm saying.
What was your response to the news articles that I brought?
My response to the news article is that it was just that, news articles, and we've been watching those articles back in those times be manipulated.
And who did you interview to, get a new perspective?
You gonna force this dude. I know where you're trying to go, 1090.
Who did you interview?
I interviewed the shooter, James.
The shooter.
What
now,
makes him
might be a credible person?
If you fire a shot, it's gonna take away from your Gatling gun. Don't get
no. I'm asking, if the news isn't credible, what makes him credible?
Well, he's gonna be more credible to this situation now because he's actually named as the shooter.
Right.
He's named as the shooter. Now, can he be lying? Can he be leaving something out? Can it be some pressure on that side? Yes, and I know why you can say that. This situation, look, I fought 1090 back with the best thing I had, the actual person in their story. Now, is there room or is there a possibility that a document can surface that discredits that? Yes, it's a possibility because none of us have seen the court document. If the court document comes and says the total opposite and supports the newspaper clipping, then at that point in time, I know what else he's going to add to that. And it's going to be impossible to fight it.
Damn.
At that point,
Ain't no way Larry Hoover a rat. I ain't gonna lie. Ain't no way. Larry Hoover too real to be a rat. If he stayed in 80X Florence.
Here goes with 1090.
Don't nobody know him.
You don't know how real Larry Hoover is because, nigga, you 30-something. Nigga, he's been locked up 53 years. How you know how real he is?
I mean, I never been in the street, but I hear everybody talk about him. Yo, you ain't hear the song? It says, free Larry Hoover. It's a Trump shooter, free Larry Hoover. Some. I forgot this song.
Listen, I'm gonna be real. I'm hoping that the court paperwork comes back in Larry Hoover's favor. I'm gonna be real with you. I hope it does.
Yo, Wack. I agree with you. I agree with you. I just don't think.
Call me out to a bet right now. Will I take that bet? And you know I'm a bet man, but I'm a sure bet man.
I'll take a bet with you, Wack. I'll take $1,000 bet that if the work says that he a rat, you're not gonna call him a rat like how you talk about Big Meech.
You wanna bet me $100,000 that if the court paperwork come back that he told that I won't say he's a rat? Is that what you bet me?
Nah, not $100,000. I said $1,000.
I don't think you want to take that bet.
No, I said $1,000. It's $1,000. You know what I mean?
No, 1,000 ain't worth it because you would give me that right now.
I know. I'm just trying to pay for your black truck around for a day. That's it. I'm 100,000.
Oh, 100,000. Send me 1,000 right now. You're gonna do that. You ain't gonna even ask you why I need it. So that's
Wack. Wack. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I'm watching 1090 Jake do a 3-1 comeback. Everybody was violating him. Yo, I was watching YouTube videos and channels saying 1090's done. He fucked with the wrong one.
I dropped a nuke on him. But I know what he's up to. I know what he's doing. And look, it's gonna come down to if that document comes back supporting the newspaper article.
It sound like you're trying to soften the blow. That if he come back with the, you could be like, all right, I at least knew something was coming.
Everything is chess, bro. But there's a difference between shooting at something and hitting it.
Hip hop commentator, YouTube community owes you because they're getting on your ass today. I'm telling you, I seen it. They owe you an apology.
No, he hasn't earned that apology yet.
Nah, he earned it. Wack. If he didn't earn it, you would have been here violating him. I know you, Wack.
I shot my shot.
Yo, 1090, what's the next steps, man? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, they're almost. I think people are so emotionally invested in this.
He gonna send somebody in there to get that damn.
Yeah, the thing is, bro, I don't even need to go to Chicago to get that. You know, like
somebody to get.
That's money makes all that happen, right? I don't have to just get no random person. I can get somebody that's their field, that's their kind of work. But the thing is, you know, as far as all the hate and all the shit, it's like Wack said. What I said was, this will be considered snitching by any code, right? There's no rapper today that can name 2 people that shot them and they're not going to get called a rat. That's a fact.
All right, y'all. First thing I notice is Wack is playing coy with this one because there may be something out there, but we don't know what it'll prove. But the reason he ain't earned an apology is because he jumped the gun using that word. Even if it looked like it, sound like it, newspaper painted that picture, we know how biased those publications were back then. It's in Chicago. Give me a break with that. You can't go off that. You understand what I'm saying? So he was too early, whether he ends up right or not. But Wack playing coy because he probably got something. And I only know this from covering him for as long as I have. So we'll keep y'all posted. I think Ack did a good job with the back and forth, kept it respectful, and we'll see where it go from here. But anyway, let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. Appreciate all the support. Till next time, it's your boy, The Answer, man. We out.